Hello, hello.
Yo,
You're rocking the merch.
sir.
Nice. That's
Although
what's
don't
up.
say it for TikTok Live.
I mean, cool shirt, bro. That I
Yeah.
that I don't recognize at all whatsoever.
Yeah, TikTok, it's butthurt at certain things.
How's the audio? Everything good? You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine. I'm ordering my new microphone of the night.
What's the ETA on that? How soon are you gonna get it?
I'm ordering it off of TikTok Live. I'm getting the new HyperX, something cat. It's the new one. It's XLR and XLR, and it's also USB. So I
Oh,
can
that's
use it
cool.
in my lap. Yeah, I can use it in my laptop with or without my audio interface. I can use it. Well, the big thing is I want the USB so I can use it for my phone with an adapter. And then when I'm doing my work, because I just signed a contract for an audio book today that I'm doing in July, and I'll need my XLR for that with the audio interface for my laptop. So multi-purpose. Love it. Gotta love it.
My daughter was asking me for some shoes from TikTok shop, and I was like, I don't think so, girl. I was like, I can't, I don't know if I can trust it.
I will tell you, I did an advertisement for a body razor for a company I will not mention. I shaved my armpits to show the use of it, and it wound up giving me ingrown hairs for a while. And now the hair on my armpits will not grow back.
Oh my god! I mean, it did its job. It sounds like.
Proof. Look at the marks.
Oh my god, bro, that's crazy.
Yep.
I mean,
Do not
technically, the
buy.
the
Yep. Do not buy body shaving kits from TikTok Shop. It will disappoint you.
I mean, the point is to remove the hair. If your hairs aren't growing back, I mean, I think it served its purpose, didn't it?
Trimming and then staining the skin with burns like this.
Oh
Look at
my
the discoloration.
goodness, yeah, dog,
Yeah,
that's
that's
insane, bro. Okay, so
yeah,
I stand by it. Then that's a no on the TikTok shop.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I
She'll get
kind of
her
figured.
shoes wet. She'll get her shoes wet in half inch of water in a puddle, and they'll disintegrate.
Yeah, they'll just disappear like sugar or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, welcome everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us today. It's Thursday, so that means Blood and I are going to do our one on one to go over the craziness around the pro wrestling world. And there's a lot of craziness going down this week, Mr. Blood. I tried to send you some of the topics on Instagram, but I don't think you actually read them. So I think you're going to be surprised.
I saw one of them, and then I've been my wife and I've been running around like crazy all day for reasons I can't mention due to an NDA. But we were officially debt free as of today. Spent all day with banks, other banks, getting our cars paid off, credit cards paid off, everything that we now own our cars, like everything done. Bought a new washer and dryer set outright. Got my laptop back. Thank God that came in today. Got my PS5 out of the pawn shop today. So all the troubles are officially over, and we even paid our rent up to the end of August, to the end of our lease. So now we have like 3 months, no fucking bills. We paid for everything up front outright. So 3, 4 months of just financial freedom. So we can just make money and save
Wow.
money.
Must be nice being rich, dog. Damn, bro.
Can't say how it happened, NDA, but I can tell you 2.5 years to get to this point.
Toxic says, I think I can guess one of the topics. Shout out to Toxic. We miss you, man. Can't wait to have you back. Um, yeah, be sure to double tap the screen. Be sure to comment. Mr. Blood, our good friend, El Grande Americano, was arrested earlier today or yesterday. Was that one of the topics that you saw?
That was the only one I saw, and it's been everywhere. Yeah, good old Ludwig Kaiser. Um, well, kind of beat the crap out of a guy because he was eating his girl's face too much in the elevator. A guy apparently said something to him. Now, this is the part of the story that I think is bullshit, and I'll let you set it up. But there's no way I think Kaiser goes after this guy just because the guy told him have some manners. I don't buy that for a minute. You think Kaiser's just going to pop off because you said, hey, maybe you guys could have some manners? You don't get fucking hit over that. No, I think this guy said some more heinous shit to him or something more serious, and freaking that set Kaiser off. Because, like, what? Kaiser's going to lose his shit because some guy goes, have some manners. and then he dog walks the guy. I don't buy that. There's more to this fucking story. So, and I'm waiting to see if we hear about what's going on with the elevator footage past them showing that Kaiser did in fact hit him. So,
Yeah, there's definitely more going on to this story, such as word on the street is that El Grande Americano bailed out Kaiser from jail, which is another great reason why El Grande Americano is such a great dude, inside and outside the ring. Am I right?
okay, yeah, sure, yeah, yeah. $1,000 bond, by the way.
Hey,
Which,
that $1,000, that's like $10,000 or 15,000 pesos, bro. That's a lot of
yeah,
money.
yeah. Hopefully that. Well, the amount of merch they've been moving, I'm sure that the 1,000 wasn't a problem. But according to the reports, that guy is pressing charges against Ludwig Kaiser. So
I'm pretty sure he probably because okay, this event took place or this incident happened April
in
23rd,
April,
which
wow.
is pretty much an entire month, and it took this long for the guy to report it, or maybe it took this long for Kaiser to find out about the warrant or whatever. But I'm pretty sure this guy probably found out who Kaiser is, and he's probably like, "Oh shit, I'm gonna press charges on this dude. I'm gonna try to get something out of this motherfucker."
That's what I was thinking because this happened like April 23rd. Today is what, the 21st?
Yeah.
And essentially, so it's been literally like 29 days. And all of a sudden, it says that Kaiser turned himself in on May 20th yesterday. So he turned himself in. That means they either probably couldn't serve him or he didn't even know about the bench warner. I mean, you got to remember this guy, Kaiser is literally flying all over the country. He's in and out of Mexico. I hope this doesn't affect his ability to work in AAA. That they think, oh no, you can't go out of country or whatever. But end of the day, yeah, man, this guy probably found out that Kaiser, is a pretty big deal on TV. He's on two major channels, two major brands under one umbrella of that of the WWE, and probably thought, oh, this guy's definitely making money, and I'm going to sue him now. I just think it's stupid that he was allowed to wait this long to press charges because I don't believe for 1 second it would have taken them that long to figure out who Ludwig Kaiser was. I mean, he's I think he's here on a green card or something, or he might have his citizenship in the works, but all you got to do is look at his face in the camera. You could figure out who the hell he is without any detective work in quite literally probably under an hour, I would imagine. His face is all over national television. So I feel like this guy waited a while, then pressed charges, and then Kaiser found out, then turned himself in yesterday. But he's already out. He bonded himself out on $1,000. I just wonder what this is going to do towards his push with WWE. If they're going to punish him for this, because we know that WWE in the past, you get in trouble with the law, they make you job out or they pull your push, or famous example, Rob Van Dam back in the day got caught with a little bit of the fun stuff in the car, and that's what cost him his unified title reign between the ECW championship and the WWE championship. That's why he lost it. Same thing. Jeff Hardy got in trouble. They put him on a losing streak, stripped him of the title. Jey Uso got another DUI, got in trouble, losing streak. So WWE has a history of punishing you on TV for shit you've done in your real life. Although at least Vince McMahon did. I don't know if Triple H and Nick Khan got paid.
Yeah, it depends on what actually happened because, like how you said earlier, I mean, there's got to be more to the story. It can't just be, oh, this guy Kaiser attacked me just because I simply said, have some manners. That's not going to escalate that unless he was like drunk or something, or I don't see that happening either. So I'm pretty sure WWE is probably going to do like their own internal investigation or whatever. And based on what they discover, that'll probably depend on, if there's going to be any repercussions on Kaiser's part. But I don't think so either because didn't not that long ago who was arrested like for some of the fun stuff? Liv Morgan, and
Yeah,
she didn't
Liv.
get
Yeah,
in trouble.
no, but they were also hinging a lot of the story around her. So they probably didn't want to derail their shit. There's not like they have a lot of stock in Ludwig as far as building a whole brand around him or a whole division around him.
Triple
But he
A.
is, but he is, yeah, but he is a mainstay in AAA. But AAA isn't like main roster WWE TV, like the Raw, the SmackDown, NXT brand that WWE cherishes so much.
But he is a
Um,
top guy in Triple A.
He is. So I can see them being like, hey, don't do this again. It's the first time he's been in trouble as far as I'm aware. So it might be a slap in the wrist thing. But the report said, Ludwig Kaiser it was the exact verbiage was aggressively intimate with his partner in the elevator. And so, whoever, as he made his way out of the elevator door, he claims that he politely said, you should have some manners. And then says that Kaiser proceeded to hit him repeatedly, and then he had a giant scratch the base of his neck, like the girl might have done something, or Kaiser scratch. So I'm just like, that just does not sound like Ludwig Kaiser would just like. This guy is PR trained with WWE. He knows to be restrained. He's a grown man. It's not like he's just some hot-headed asshole who's going to blow up at the end. He was clearly in a good mood. I mean, he's literally snogging the shit out of whoever was in the elevator with him. So he's already like probably at an elevated state of happiness, like, oh, this is going to be a great night. And then you just think being told to have some manners is going to take it from here straight to here. I mean, even if you want to say maybe he's got anger issues, you really think telling someone to have some manners when they know they're being slightly inappropriate is going to just set them off? I think this guy had to have said something to his girl. I think this guy had to have said something to him. I don't buy for a second this guy's just automatically the innocent party saying, oh, I just told him to have some manners and he just mauled me. Bullshit. Come on. Yeah. I'm not victim blaming, but I don't buy that either.
Yeah, and also the reports are saying that there's video footage of Kaiser or someone that looks like Kaiser beating up on this guy. But I'm like, okay, they haven't said any videos about the, in the elevator. What was that confrontation like? If they're simply going off the video of Kaiser chasing this guy out of the elevator and beating him up without any context or anything,
that's bullshit.
That guy can say whatever he wants. Hey, I just said have some manners and he attacked me.
That's some TMZ level shit too. Yeah. They just show you like Alan Richardson a couple of months ago went viral because he was beating up his neighbor. But then you find out the whole video, thanks to Alan Richardson's fucking riding camera, his GoPro on his chest, that no, the neighbor tried to knock him off the bike with his kids behind him, almost caused an accident, then started getting in Alan's face and then tried to push him, and then Alan defended himself. But TMZ only showed from a window perspective of a neighbor that Alan was beating the guy up in the street.
Yeah.
And that's all the footage they aired. And it took 3 days until we got the actual footage from Alan's perspective that cleared his name with the public. I don't like that, like, anybody can just go, he did this to me. Because to me, if you have elevator footage of Kaiser assaulting this guy, that camera was still on before that assault happened. It's not like it just turned on out of nowhere. It was on. So what happened beforehand? And the thing is, maybe it's got a microphone, so maybe there's audio too.
Yeah. So Toxic on the comments brought up a good question, and he hopes that this doesn't affect the mask versus mask match that's going to be taking place in the end of the month, I believe.
May 30th.
Yeah, the 30th. And I hope it doesn't either. There was one event that was scheduled one of these days. It was like an appearance from Kaiser in Mexico. It was called let me see here, May 20th, arrested in Florida. He was scheduled to make a special appearance in AAA on May 21st, which is today, but the brand pushed out the announcement that the event had been canceled. So he didn't show up for today, but hopefully they can get this figured out in a few days before the big match on the 30th. But also reports are saying that his attorney, Thomas D. Somerville, formally filed a notice of appearance on behalf of Barthel, which is Kaiser. Through his attorney, Barthel waived his appearance for arraignment proceedings and entered a written plea of not guilty to charge against him. The filing also states that the defense is requesting a trial and asks the court to allow 10 days from the scheduled arraignment date to file any motions challenging the charging document. There's a lot of information in here. Basically, they want to submit like some type of appeal or something that says like, hey, because he doesn't have a record, he doesn't have a history. We want to give him permission to travel outside of the country
Yeah,
because
for work. Yeah.
he
Working
does have to
AAA in
work.
Mexico.
Yeah, so I guess that's still in question. They don't know if he's going to be able to travel yet, from what I'm understanding.
Well, the problem here too is that it's not like you can just argue, well, you're keeping me from my trade, you're keeping me from the company I work for. But here's a problem. There's evidence that they can say, well, look, he also works on Monday Night Raw. He's on WWE main roster TV, which is not based in Mexico. So so we're asking the court to make it so he can still absolutely travel, but we don't want him leaving into Mexico. So then they try to force him to basically only wrestle for Monday Night Raw. And then that would definitely fuck Triple Mania, because it's 10 days is the motion. Well, 10 days from now is the 31st. So they follow that day, he might actually make Triple Mania. He might.
Triple Mania is in September.
Or sorry, not Triple Mania, May 30th's event.
Yeah.
But he will make at least the 30th, I think, because today's 21st. If it's 10 days from now, he should make the 31st.
So here's the paragraph that I was looking for regarding to that. It says, the defense argued that Barthel's work as an international performer requires frequent travel throughout the United States and overseas in order to remain employed. The filing also notes that he has no prior criminal history and maintains his innocence. So hopefully that's enough to let him be able to... or you know what he can do? Simple. Kaiser or Marcel Barthel, is the one that is being charged here, who can't travel. El Grande Americano cannot.
I knew where the fuck you were going with that. Oh my god.
No,
First
dude,
off,
I'm kidding.
really quick, shout out to everybody in the comments. Thank you guys so much for being here today. We're talking WWE news for an hour. We do this every Thursday night on TikTok Live at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and 8 o'clock Central. So we are currently going over Ludwig Kaiser, a.k.a. El Grande Americano, who was arrested, basically turned himself in on the 20th of May yesterday for an alleged assault on a man in an elevator on April 23rd this year, whom says that he was assaulted by Ludwig while Ludwig was aggressively making out with another female in the elevator. And then subsequently, the gentleman said, I politely asked him to show some manners, and then he just attacked me out of nowhere. So that's what we're going through right now. If you're joining us, please spam that like button so we can get more people viewing this right now. It would be really awesome. We'd really appreciate it. Thank you guys for being here on Snug Wrestling.
You know what else is crazy about this whole thing? I saw one report that stated that the female that Ludwig Kaiser was in that elevator, who he was making out with, was a white woman. His girlfriend is Mexican. He's been dating that girl from AAA, that announcer chick who does the funny videos in Spanish. Alejandra Basarte is her name. And they even did a whole angle with her with OG Americano was like about to like attack her, and El Grande Americano comes out to save his girlfriend. Everyone knows they're dating, so I'm like, she doesn't look white. She is straight up Mexican.
Well, this is the girl that he went with after him and Tiffany broke up, right? So
this was last month. They've been dating for way more than a month.
I know. Him and Tiffany Stratton broke up early last year. So this has to be the girl. So that's the girl, the announcer's the chick he was with after Tiffany.
Yes.
So are we sure him and this other girl didn't break up? Or were they together a month ago?
Well, the angle that they just did with that, yeah, actually, we don't know if they're still together or not. That could be true. Maybe they broke up a little while ago, and they're like, we're just not going to tell the fans because we're going to shoot this angle in AAA so they can believe it.
Did she dye her hair, perhaps?
Bro, I'm telling you, she does not look white, dog. That's another thing too.
You're Mexican, and
bro. Okay, I'm telling you, people that know, you can't confuse. Like when you see that girl from AAA, you don't see her and say, "Oh, this girl can be white." She doesn't have blonde hair. She is Mexican, bro. Like Mexican.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, just making sure there are white Mexicans, Jessica Alba.
She's not Mexican. I mean, yeah. Because I'm reading like different reports here, all different reports on the same topic, and there was one that said white male and white female kissing in the, and I'm like, wait, what? White? Okay. But yeah, that's what's going on with Ludwig Kaiser. We'll see what
You got
happens
some
with that.
explaining to do.
Yeah, dude. So more on that. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be more. There's got to be more to it than just that. I don't. This is very cut and dry. There's got to be more to it, like Mr. Bludd said. Anything else we want to add about this, Bludd, before we move on?
Look, it's a first offense, if at all true. Again, this is alleged, so we're not throwing any kind of persecution or judgment on Kaiser. We're just, verbally adjudicating the situation. So essentially, I would just say everybody reserve judgment to hear more information and don't just assume that Kaiser's guilty, and don't also assume that the other guy is lying. We don't know. We need more information. I would hope, though, because this is a first offense for Kaiser, that WWE gives him a stern talking to, but gives him a slap on the wrist, because there are plenty of stars who've gotten in way worse trouble than him, way more often, and they let them go without, like, they just leave them alone. The Usos have both DUI'd multiple times. Jay and Jimmy Uso weren't even allowed, I think, in Canada for the longest fucking time. They had to like make excuses during the Bloodline story as to why they couldn't be on Canadian shows. There was a lot of backlash with, Sami Zayn at one point. There's tons of people who just have really fucked up, but they get a slap on the wrist or they get a talking to. I would hope that WWE is more lenient with him, because he is extremely talented. And you've also built a lot of brand around him. And sure, did he mess up that responsibility? Allegedly, yes. But again, I would say withhold judgment until you have all the facts.
Hey, quick question. Is Jessica Alba Mexican?
Yes.
Oh, goddamn. Okay. She said yeah. I believe you now, Bludd.
That's why a lot of people didn't like her to be Invisible Woman in the original Fantastic Four, because they thought they just took a white woman or a Mexican woman and painted her white.
Of course, you would know that.
And dyed her hair blonde. So that's why I know that. But I don't know if you noticed this. I'm a Marvel Comics fan.
I just wanted to make sure you were just being a racist. Like, all you Mexicans look the same. I'm assuming Jessica Alba is Mexican.
Well, I mean, you do, but that doesn't change the facts.
Yeah.
Identify as Mexican for a long time.
Oh, okay.
She was like, no, I'm not Mexican. I was born here, but now.
Oh, okay. Now it's cool to be Mexican, so now she identifies as being Mexican. Yep. What a bitch. Yeah. All right. Anyway, there's been, huh?
But it's okay.
There's been a lot of rumors going around the WWE, Mr. Bludd, which is crazy because the WWE just got rid of a bunch of people recently, right?
28. Well, 26, and then 2 chose to walk, that and Xavier Woods and Kofi.
And we saw a couple people come back, like Paige came back. There's also been a lot of new people showing up on NXT. But now there's some more potential returning stars from Baron the past. Baron Corbin is one of the names that's being thrown around, but also Enzo Amore and Big Cass is being rumored to return once again to the WWE. Bludd, thoughts on that?
Well, first off, Baron Corbin has always been, in my opinion, severely underrated. Let's not forget that Baron Corbin is a prime example of what we were just talking about, where we were talking about stars getting in trouble and then, Vince punishing them. Corbin got in trouble because there was a guy backstage and they were talking that was making light of CTE and football players. Corbin, very aggressive, and apparently, from what I remember, shook the man or hit the man or slapped the man or something and demanded an apology. Well, after that, Vince McMahon destroys his push because he was going to have Corbin cash in the Money in the Bank and be the champion, and then he pulled that and made Corbin the first guy to ever lose the Money in the Bank championship cash-in. Then it took Corbin a very long time to get back in the good graces of the office. He went on losing streak after losing streak, comedy gimmick after comedy gimmick. But they did this great resurgence of him in NXT when he was originally paired with Braun Breaker as the War Dogs. And that team is really what got Braun Breaker over. Initially over, that is. And, Baron Corbin, wildly talented, had one of the most protected finishes in that of the End of Days for years. And they never made a massive deal out of it when they should have, because the first person to ever kick out of that, I'm blanking on who that was, but it was either AJ or Randy or somebody. It was a big deal, and it meant nothing.
Randy.
I think it was Randy.
Yeah.
But it was supposed to be a bigger deal because no one had ever kicked out of it before. It's extremely protected for over 10 years.
Brandon Sanders says Drew McIntyre.
It was Drew.
Thank
Drew.
you, Brandon.
But thank you very much. But here's the thing. I think Baron Corbin was always severely underrated in WWE. I think he's a massive get for any company, for any roster. He's a great addition to. The guy can work, excellent timing. He's believable. He's huge, great look. But also, by all accounts, backstage, he's just a decent, good guy. I follow him on TikTok. I love watching he cooks and grills and everything. I mean, I love watching him. He's a great, down-to-earth guy. I also love listening to him on Busted Open Radio. So when it comes down to it, I'd love to have a mind like his for the business and a respect for the business that he has. Of course, every locker room needs that because it's only going to make your locker room life healthier. When it comes down to...
Well, let's slow down there. Let's stay on Baron Corbin because there's a few more things going on with him. Because I hope it's true. I hope it's true that Baron Corbin does come back. I've always liked him for, since I saw him for the very first time. This is a perfect example of, him being released, but him still working at the craft, still being active. He's currently wrestling in MLW and doing bookings all around the world. So the reports are coming out that, he's in talks with WWE, and Baron Corbin responded to it, and he was like, this is news to me. He's like, I had no idea. I'm still booked in Australia. I'm still working for this company. So he's trying to throw in that confusion in there. I don't know if he's trying to work people to throw them off and maybe his surprise becomes a bigger deal. The other thing too that I read, Mr. Bludd, is that they want to bring him back. This is a rumor. They want to bring him back as Danhausen's creation.
Fuck no. Because
you know how Danhausen is doing the thing where he's creating his monster thing, whatever. People are saying it's going to be Baron Corbin.
I'm going to give you this Goofy from Mickey Mouse would give you. Fuck no. I don't want to see it. If you bring Baron Corbin back, it better be as Baron fucking Corbin. Not some Danhausen fucking comedy offshoot bullshit. I don't want Corbin back if it's at the expense of all the great and goodwill he built up with the company. As amazing as he is deserving of so much better than being relegated to another fucking comedy gimmick. Let him have a decent run. What is so wrong with that? That guy can have a great fucking match with anybody. We need someone for Damian Priest. We need somebody for Jacob Fatu. We need somebody for fucking Rusev, and I'd love to see him versus Gunther. There's so many guys I would put him with in a program before I ever paired him up as a fucking Danhausen creation. It's so stupid.
Yeah, that's the rumor that I saw. It looks like Toxic might be a fan of it because he says Bighausen.
That's so fucking dumb. Sorry, Toxic. I love you, Toxic. I love you. But you guys all know I'm not the biggest fan of Danhausen. I think he's entertaining, yes. I also find him extremely annoying, and I'm not entertained by it because I lived through the worst comedy gimmicks you could think of as a 25-year-long wrestling fan.
I know, Soul Luca. Ugh.
With Vince McMahon. And I don't... It's not that I hate Danhausen. It's that I've been so burnt out on those gimmicks because Vince would do stuff like that all the time. I just look at Danhausen and it just reminds me of Vince's booking, and I hate it. Though he is wrestling coded, he's sports entertainment coded, he fits perfectly. And I'll be the first one to say Danhausen fits WWE perfectly. It's just no longer for me. So
Yeah.
I don't want to see Baron Corbin get stuck in that when I think there's so much fucking more you could do with him.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I hope so. I hope that's not true, but again, that's just the reports and the rumors that I've been seeing this entire day today. But yeah, that would be very underwhelming for a Baron Corbin return. Who, yeah, former Money in the Bank, former U.S. champion. What else? Tag team champion, I believe. Yeah, dude, that would be
He
insane.
was won the Money in the Bank. He was tag champion, United States champion. I think he won the IC title at some point. He was, I think, a champion in NXT as well. So like the guys, Andre the Giant Battle Memorial, I think winner at least once.
Yeah, I think so.
And not that anybody cares about it, but it's an accolade. King of the Ring winner. Like he had quite a. I mean, I don't care what you say. A lot of those credentials are credentials of first ballot Hall of Famers. A lot of first ballot Hall of Famers never won world titles. They were King of the Rings. They were amazing fucking mid card champions. They were just incredibly well liked and versatile acts. Happy Corbin, Sad Corbin, Baron Corbin, King Corbin.
Oh my God! Yes, they need to do the Sad Corbin gimmick again, bro.
I want to see the Lone Wolf again, a new version of his Lone Wolf gimmick, because that was the one that endeared him to the main roster when he still had it before he cut his hair. But like. Then we talk about Enzo and Cass. And Enzo and Cass, I don't care what you say, those guys were over as hell when they were in the business. When they were in WWE, they were over as hell. They were some of the loudest reactions on any given night, no matter fucking what. And even though Enzo can't wrestle, he could sell his ass off. Cass was also getting better at wrestling, but he was extremely impactful. He was believable. He was intense. Enzo was just this fucking charisma bomb. Like, I mean, the guy just can talk on the mic. He can just fucking talk. And he's amazing at it. The problem was the attitude and the ego backstage that they both had a problem with. Cass apparently getting in trouble for showing up extremely drunk all the time. And just not being reliable in the ring because he was drunk while he was in the ring. Cass shooting his mouth off, getting kicked out of locker rooms, kicked off of tour buses because he was apparently just as, if not more, aggressively annoying and graining on people's patience like The Miz did in 2006 when he was in the locker room. But I do think if you bring them back and they're more mature and they handle themselves better and they treat the boys and girls in the back with more respect, then bring them back, because at the end of the day, that is still a fucking great act that worked really well and people really fucking liked, and it was already over as fuck before they split their team up.
So that was a long time ago, right? Yes,
they were around 2014 to 16.
Since then, Enzo has gotten a lot bigger. He's a lot more physically
imposing.
Yeah, thank you. And I've seen him wrestle for like the Fourth Rope promotion and other things here and there. I mean, he's still wrestling actively and he's still working at it. So I think over time, it's only if he's keep on wrestling, then he's only getting better. The rumor is that he's been at the Performance Center lately a few times, and that the WWE has interest to bring back Big Cass and Enzo. Shout out to GBG says, shout out to Snug and Bludd. What up, dude? Shadow Gang. And Big Cass, his contract, because he's still signed to AEW, his contract is going to expire soon, I believe is what the reports are saying. That may or may not require the 90-day clause. I know it's a little iffy nowadays. So if they do bring them back, both of them, it might not be for another few months, right? But here's my thing. You're right about everything that you just said. The fact that they were over, but also the backstage stuff, the attitude, right? My problem with this is that after maybe 2 months, the act just got stale because it was the same thing over and over and over. Like it was entertaining at first. They did it with the Dudley Boys. That was cool. But then after a while, and they did it, without the mic. They got the mic taken away from them, so they did it without the mic. But for me, after a couple months, I was over it. So my only concern about this is how are the fans going to react today? I feel like it's going to be the same thing that happened with the White Six. Yes, it was cool at first, but after a while, it was just like whatever.
The problem with the Wyatt Six was that their momentum got stop started. Injury over and over again, lack of creative, lack of ideas for stories to put them in, and then keeping them in never ending feuds that bored the shit out of fans. With Enzo and Cass, there's a whole men's tag division to pair them up with. I could see Enzo and Cass having a hell of a time with Austin Theory and Logan Paul on the mic. I could see them having a great time against the Street Profits. Oh my God. Could you imagine Enzo on the mic versus Montez Ford? Big Cass versus Big Angelo Dawkins? I can see so many things that I would want to watch personally, interactions that I would love to see personally across the entire Monday night and Friday night SmackDown roster. I don't think that they get stale if you keep them fresh, because that's like saying, their shtick got old, right?
Yeah.
Well, look, if it got old, does Cero Miedo get old? Does Seth freaking Rollins get old? Does the champ is here get old? Does Acknowledge Me get old? Does the Best in the World get old?
Not the same,
they're all the same
No,
shticks.
it's not.
Every night, every promo, they say the same shit every time.
It's not, bro. You got to compare that stick, that gimmick, to like Bro Dog and Jesse James coming out and doing the same thing. Like, what was the speech that they had?
Oh God, this is a something double this, and I'm JESS double DO double G.
Exactly, it's one of those things. It's like they can't do that every single week, because after a while, it's just like,
well, not every week. The thing with Vince is that Vince didn't know when enough was enough. Vince would never just go be like, "Hey, you're in a match, go out and wrestle." It was go out there, pop the crowd first, then wrestle. But what I remember was the crowd never got old and it never got tired of it. At least the in-arena crowds, they ate that shit up for a year before they split up. Like a year. They loved those guys. There's a video where people say Big Cass and Enzo aren't over. And I saw it 2 weeks ago on TikTok. And they went back and replayed a quick clip of them in the ring where literally Enzo goes, "My name is," and then he takes the mic down and he just starts mouthing it. And the crowd was loud. "Enzo Amore, and I am a certified G and a bona fide stud, and you can't teach that. And this is Big Cass.
We know it. We know it, bro.
But the thing is, the fans fucking just died for it.
Yeah.
They loved it. Even if you got sick of it at home, the in-arena fans, that's your barometer. And they were hot every single time. You know why? Because their act allowed the fans to be in on it. Allowed the fans to be a part of the act because it was interactive to the fandom. And fans want nothing more than to feel like they are a part of the show. And that's why I think now more than ever, we need Enzo and Cass to make those fans feel like they're a part of the show and not just running through the fucking, the rigmarole of, oh, we've priced out the actual real fan, the average fan. Now you have all these fucking commoners who just picked up tickets because they got the money. We need those fans to come back. We need acts that people remember, hey, I loved this 10 years ago, and it's great. And it makes me feel like how I felt when I still loved WWE before it went so fucking corporate that they're red in the face. I think Enzo and Cass is a great act to bring back, not just because they'd be great with other tag teams, but because they are so charismatic. You need that energy on a Monday or a Friday night.
Yeah, and I think the timing would be great because, again, we're talking about years ago when they were last in the WWE and they had a lot of issues. Now they're older. Now they're more mature. Didn't Big Cass also had some type of problem, like right after his WWE run, that he got better now?
So he was like basically going through like a depression funk and an ego funk where he talked about he was drinking way too much all the time. He was showing up and he was tipsy, or he was hungover. He was
too, I think.
Yeah, he had some dark demons with addiction, and he's gotten past that, thankfully.
Yeah, he was having seizures and shit like that.
Yes, yeah, and Enzo had just alienated everybody in the locker room. I mean, there was no one who hated him more than Pac. Like Pac, like back then it was Adrian Neville, who's now Pac, but like Pac couldn't stand him, refused to wrestle with him. He was fierce. Like I have to lose the fucking, I think it was the 205 live title or something, or drop that or whatever to Enzo. Are you fucking kidding me? I have to drop that, like Enzo, because he was the whole king of the cruiserweights, and it was just like him just being allowed to go over on certain wrestlers who were wrestlers alienated the entire locker room, because Enzo was more of an entertainer than a wrestler's wrestler. And that pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah. So yeah, he got over that. He went back to AEW. Big Cass did, and he got in phenomenal shape as well. Big Cass got fucking swole, and they tried to do stuff with him with AEW, but a lot of the stuff that they were doing were just, it just wasn't landing. I mean, I think he got over a little bit, maybe on Collision, but I can't remember the last time Big Cass was even on AEW TV. It's been that long.
I attribute his run in AEW to the same thing they did with Jake Hager. A little bit of fanfare. We'll put him in a couple of things. He'll be more of a background guy. And then it's just like, they lost interest in him. And then he's almost never booked. He's almost never there. But Tony's like, hey, well, you know what? I'll still pay you. It's like, paying me is great, Tony. Here's Tony's problem. Tony has no qualms paying his guys. I respect the hell out of him for it. Pay the girls and boys so they can eat, they can feed their families, they can pay their bills. But it's not just about the money, Tony. Sometimes people just want to actually work and get paid to do the job they spent half their life training to do. Don't hire me if you don't know what you're going to do with me past 6 months. That's my biggest thing with AEW. That's why I fell out of AEW. I don't get attached to anybody because I don't know if I'm going to see him on TV for a year.
Yeah, that's why I was so surprised that the reports were saying Big Cass's AEW contract is going to expire soon. I'm like, what the? This motherfucker's still under contract? When's the last time he's been on TV?
Last time I saw him, I thought he was doing house shows. Or not house shows. I thought he was doing indies. The last clip of him I saw when he popped up with Enzo like 2 years ago. I didn't even know he was signed with AEW.
Yeah, and Enzo has been showing up on like TNA. He's been showing up on Fourth Row, which is West Side's promotion, GCW, but he does not show up with Big Cass. And you would think AEW is pretty lenient when it comes to letting their talents go out to other promotions, but we have not seen Enzo show it with Big Cass at all, ever in any other promotion, which is good because if they bring them back to WWE, that's the best place to see them together, you know? So yeah, man, it's going to be interesting. Yeah. If we can get them back on WWE, I think it's going to be really, really good. Also,
the thing with Enzo and Cass, before we move on, my last thing on this is that they're one of the problem is when you have teams, a lot of times teams run, it's very rare that a team won't run the risk of you guys, no matter how much of a singles run you have or how much we want to push you, the fans just prefer you together or you're just better together. The Hardys have split up so many times, but people always prefer Jeff. But then they go, well, the Hardys are better when they're together. The Usos split up. Everybody wanted Jay to win the world championship. All of a sudden, we want them back together. We want the Usos back together. Bubba Ray and Devon have split up many times, even in TNA where Bubba turned on Devon for a heel turn. But people prefer them together. It's very rare. Like Marty Jannetty and Shawn Michaels might be the only team in history where people saw them separate and thought, nah, they're better. They're better by themselves because Shawn is the guy. Yeah. But other than that, people prefer a lot of these acts together because it just makes sense. As good as Enzo and Cass are, is the strengths they have separate. You know, the intensity of Cass, the size of Cass, the look of Cass, the charisma and the mic and promo ability of Enzo. No matter how good they are separate, they are so much better as a unit. Yeah. So if they do get brought back, I would hope it's together.
For sure. We got a good comment here by GBG says, I wish they would bring the Hurt Business back. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, especially all the stuff that MVP has been saying about Triple H and the company. I think that bridge has been burnt a long time ago
Yeah.
already.
Basically calling them racist and they don't book black people, this and that. And it's like, dude, like look at most of SmackDown and like Raw, like your biggest top stars being pushed right now are all African American. I would agree that at some point that might have been the case where Triple H maybe let people slip through the cracks, but I don't think it was on purpose. I think it was whoever made the most sense at the moment. And sometimes, it's a demographic thing. Sometimes, there's if you have 100% of the roster, maybe 25, 30% of them are African American, 40% of them are white, and then like everybody else in between is something else or Samoan. So it's just there's more white people, Caucasian people, Samoans. It's not like they're just like, hey man, screw the black, the brothers and sisters. No, they're like, hey, like right now Braun Breaker's hot. And then, CM Punk's hot. And then, Roman Reigns is hot. And then Drew McIntyre's hot. And Cody Rhodes is hot. And John Cena's hot. It's not a color thing. It's their star power is why we're pushing them. It has nothing to do with their skin color. People love them. So, and it's not always about race. And I understand why many people would feel that way because I think there is credence to how he feels, especially being booked under Vince. But Vince wasn't a racist either. He did book and promo some very questionably racist shit. But one of his closest friends backstage was R-Truth. He loved R-Truth. To death, he loved R-Truth. He loved Mark Henry, and Mark has gone through many stories. He loved Teddy Long to death. He protected all of those guys. So, I don't think it's fair to say that, there's a vendetta against the brothers and sisters. I just think sometimes it's right place, right time. And a lot of that time, because there's more white people or non-colored people in the company, they just make more sense because they have more star power. They connect with the audience more organically, and that's what the company runs with.
We got a good question here by Tribal Chief 584. When is Clash in Italy? I believe is the 31st, right?
Clash yes, it's exactly a week from this Saturday.
So the reason I normally I would say, thanks for your question, but that I'm glad you brought it up. Could have been an easy Google, but I'm glad you asked because it just reminded me that this is going to be on a Sunday, Bludd, in Italy, which is going to be in the middle of the day. So
Clash in Italy is on a Sunday?
I'm pretty sure.
I thought it was Saturday to Saturday. Because Sunday is what, the 20?
Sunday is the 31st. So the big AAA show is on the 30th, May 30th. That's a Saturday. The 31st is a Sunday. Clash in Italy is going to be on a Sunday.
We're doing a PLE on a Sunday for the first time in a while.
In Italy.
Oh, God. What time of day does it air here?
For your time, it's going to be at 2 o'clock.
In the afternoon?
Yes, sir.
Oh, fuck.
For me, it's going to be at 11.
There goes my Sunday.
I know, bro. That's
well, at least it's fine. At least it's not this Sunday. I have to film on a movie this Sunday, so at least I can watch it because the card is actually really good. So I want to watch it live. But 2 in the afternoon, you and I have said this many times. You guys might not know this. Me and Edgar, we fucking hate the European tour, and not because of the fans or the crowds of the countries. We love that the energy that we get from the European crowds are awesome. The problem is, we are wrestling content creators. So we try to be as on the ball with the reviews, as close to the show's ending as possible, making clips, content. We have to set time aside for our days. So to literally sit there and have to be up at 4 a.m. for some of these shows, to then have to do a review at like 10 o'clock in the morning, or try to make it later that evening, but not too late so people haven't already lost interest and watched 10 other reviews. And, it's such a pain in the ass because it throws us off. And a Sunday, you're talking 3-hour show, at least minimum 3 hours. So there goes the whole middle of my afternoon, and you're 3 hours before me at 11 a.m. So your whole morning and your beginning of your afternoon, you're sat down having to watch the freaking show. And it's like, it's Sunday. You got to work on Monday. So half your afternoon is spent having to do shit for the podcast instead of doing what you want to do with your kids.
Yeah. So that's going to be fun to figure out. Yeah. It's going to be a fun weekend because we got AAA, we got the big show, going to be covering that, going to be covering Sunday. And no, I'm not going to be streaming it, Tribal Chief. Are you going to be streaming Clash in Italy? I haven't streamed in like over a year, the shows. And I'm not going to start, especially not now. We
No, not the bands.
what I was doing was posting clips, reaction videos, and even that got fucking dinged. So I can't do any of that anymore, unfortunately.
Yeah, we're unfortunately no longer doing the reaction content because WWE decided to turn on all the content creators that they were begging to make clips and help spread the word of their tabernacle, and then all of a sudden they've been banning and shutting accounts down left and right, even though they've been using our content across the board on their show reactions and everything else, highlighting content creators. It's just been a whole thing. But really quick,
Go ahead.
shout out to Big Daddy P in the comments. What's up, Bludd? Not much. And shout out to the next Uso who asks, who do you got winning Tribal Combat? I won't answer that only because we have predictions for Clash in Italy this upcoming Wednesday at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook Live. So you'll have to wait till Wednesday to hear our thoughts on that.
I was going to say, there's still some brave people out there that are still streaming. If you don't have a ways or means of watching Clash in Italy, our boy Soto from the 619 is still streaming on TikTok Live. Just give him a follow, and I'm sure he'll be streaming. That's Soto, SOTO 619.
Yeah.
Um,
Those brave souls who are risking their accounts. But
Yes.
not us. We put in too much work.
Yeah,
We got about 3,000 plus episodes. We ain't about to get them all just thrown in the garbage for nothing.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks for your guys' comments. Keep double tapping the screen. We got a little bit more time for one more topic, Mr. Bludd. I wanted to get your thoughts on the reports that Mick Foley is going to be making his AEW debut this weekend. AEW is going to be doing their pay-per-view Double or Nothing. It's one of their big pay-per-views. And Mick Foley announced that he is going to be there as one of the commentators for the pre-show. Usually AEW does like an hour or two of free matches, of free pre-show before the pay-per-view, where they have the preliminary matches. And then if you want to buy the pay-per-view, then you can purchase it after the pre-show. So I think this is AEW's way of, you know what, let's get Mick Foley in here. Let's get a hardcore legend in here for the pre-show. Maybe we'll get a bunch of fans for Mick Foley or from Mick Foley. Maybe we can get some of those people to stick around and buy the pay-per-view. But what do you think? Any thoughts on Mick Foley going over to AEW?
First and foremost, completely understand why he decided to separate from WWE. I think it was either earlier this year or very, very late last year. It's a political reason we won't get into. Basically, he just doesn't agree with the WWE and their constant championing and overly like ass-kissing levels of just sucking up to Donald Trump's administration because, of course, Linda McMahon, Triple H's mother-in-law, is on Donald Trump's cabinet, and of course, Triple H has been present on stage with Donald Trump for pressers and things. There's a clashing of ideology between Mick Foley and WWE, and he just does not want to support the company nor promote them when he disagrees fundamentally with this administration, which that's his thing. We're not getting political here. I'm just explaining what the reports are. I don't care who you vote for. Snug Wrestling doesn't give a shit. Just telling you exactly what happened because it was a public instance that he even tweeted about.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I think it's good for him if he's still finding a way to stay relevant in the business. And if AEW wants him to pop a rating on a pre-show, fine. I think it makes no sense. I think, honestly, you should have him on the actual pay-per-view, and you should be advertising for the actual pay-per-view for people who want to listen to him. But I also don't think, as much as I love Mick Foley, the man's a fucking legend, I don't think having him come in and commentating on a match is going to sell pay-per-view buys. Like, he's not in the ring doing a match. He's just talking. You know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to spend $59.99 or $69.99 to listen to a dude talk while he's not on camera and I'm watching dudes in the ring on camera wrestle, but I'm going to it's going to encourage me to spend $60, $70 to listen to a guy talk? No. I think it's good to have him there. I do think it's basically AEW rubbing it in WWE's face saying, hey, another one of your legends and Hall of Famers is over here with us because they got sick of you. And I think that's basically what it is for Tony Khan. Because remember, even though WWE claims that AEW is not competition, AEW is competition. I think it's so stupid to say that they aren't. But also Tony Khan acting like he's at war with WWE. WWE didn't treat it like a war. WWE treats it like they're annoying and they're like, we're just going to counter-program you into oblivion, just like we did WCW. But Tony Khan takes it personally. So for Tony Khan, I think this is like a dig or a kick at the balls at WWE. And he just needs to get the fuck off the reins and just focus on his own product, because there's no real reason to bring Mick Foley in on a pre-show acting as if that's going to sell tickets and sell buy rates. It's not. I just think it's going to be a nice feel-good thing. Hey, Mick wants to partner with the company. That's a cool thing. We can basically just promote, hey, we have this incredible legend of the business in a talking about a stipulation that made him famous. And that's about it. I think that's where it needs to start and end. But I don't think anybody cares about seeing him on the main show talking.
Shout out to Nas, says, I'm going to Double or Nothing. That's what's up. I'm going to try to go to, which is it, the other one? God damn it. Is it Forbidden Door? It's Forbidden Door is going to be over here in San Jose, which I was going to go to that one. I don't know. But yeah, dude, the other thing too is like, when it comes to Mick Foley going to AEW, he's 60 years old. And there's a big question is he going to get involved in the ring? Is he going to be added to a match? Is he going to wrestle? And it's like, bro, what the fuck? Chill out. The dude is 60.
At the most, he's going to pull out Mr. Sacco and do a mandible claw on somebody. That's the most you'll get. That man is not bumping.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. He's not bumping.
I hope
he's not crazy like Rick. He's not bumping in his 60s. Mick, even when he came back to the WWE a handful of times, it was never to fucking eat a bump. It was always pull out Mr. Sacco, get a pop with the crowd and mandible claw somebody until they passed out. That was about it. But he's not going in there taking a fucking a Meltzer driver or a super kick party and then hitting someone with hitting somebody with a double underhook DDT. It would be cool if we get a moment between him and Edge during the PLE, if Edge is on the show. But other than that, I don't see him doing anything else. Or Jericho, but I don't see him doing anything. Yeah, but his most famous moments are really with Edge and Taker in WWE and Triple H.
Yeah,
getting speared through a flaming table. But I mean, other than that, it'll be a nice moment for him, and maybe we'll get a cool mandible claw pop out of it.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it. It's this Saturday.
I'm not.
We'll see. Yeah, I don't know.
I gave up on AEW 2.5 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a couple months for me, dog. But I don't know. Maybe we'll see. Depends what I do that day. Well, that was fun, Mr. Bludd. Like always, make the hour fly by talking about this wrestling stuff. I think we can call it here. We've hit our mark. We went over all of our topics that we had planned for today. Thanks for everyone that was on the comments. I double tapped the screen. Leave a star rating. Leave a review, and we will catch you on the next one, Mr. Bludd. Please, let's get up out of here.
Thank you guys for kicking it with us here on TikTok Live, our wrestling hours for random or relevant wrestling topics every Thursday night on TikTok Live at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific, and 8 o'clock Central every single week. If you like hanging out with us, you can do it every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday after Raw, NXT, and SmackDown go off the air for live post-show reviews. You can also check out our Apple and Spotify. We have over 3,000 episodes of this podcast. This is our new season. We're in the 5th season of the show. And of course, we also review AAA and do WWE in Espanol with Edgar. And of course, I believe who else does it with you? Who does Espanol?
It was Eric Padilla from the SDM podcast.
Yes, Eric Padilla. And of course, next Wednesday, mark your calendars, we are doing the predictions for WWE's Clash in Italy, PLE, which will take place that following Sunday. We did just do predictions last night on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and Instagram and Facebook for this Saturday night's main event. Edgar, go ahead.
We also have a very special interview coming up next Tuesday with AAA star luchador wrestler. He's wrestled in NXT and WWE. Mecha Wolf is going to be in Snug Wrestling with us next week as well.
Yes, and of course, we do have some big surprises coming up the next handful of weeks. We are potentially having a WWE legend, which we will not name yet until it's solidified, coming on the podcast. And we are currently in talks with an unnamed WWE superstar, which we will not name until it's solidified. We'll be coming on hopefully in the next week or 2 weeks, potentially, for an interview as well. And they are a main roster talent. So stay tuned for that news. But until next time, guys, stay safe, stay savage, and stay snug.